Hello, we're Michael and Dawne Kiehm.
Welcome to our Introduction to Ballroom series. This is the basic or bronze level Foxtrot.
Now on this video we're going to be doing 4 different sections. Our first section is going to concentrate on components or concepts for ballroom dancing in general. So if you already have our waltz DVD, then you won't need the first section. You can skip right over to the second section. If you don't have the waltz, then you'll definitely want to watch this section. It's going to give you a lot of good information. Stick around. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome. We're into our first section now. This is our concept section. So we're going to start off by talking about different things you'll need to get you around the dance floor. One of them is a really good dance position. I'm going to turn my back to you and show you basically your stance, gentlemen. You're standing with your feet nice and close. Body over the feet, toes are in line. Shoulders slightly relaxed forward, arms slightly ahead of the body. If I turn sideways, you'll notice the elbows are not pulled back, so I'm not making a big chest here. I'm setting them out in front of me. Everything's relaxed, kind of like you're holding a great big beach ball. Now, the left hand is at about ear level, slightly higher. The right hand is around the lady's back, but it's going on a downward slope, so I should not have my hands pitched up like this across her back, or my fingers spread out across her back. They should be closed. All of this in a gentle slope going down around the back. Okay? So that's your basic dance position. Now, we have to include a partner on this to make it more interesting, I'm sure. So I'm going to stand in this position, and Dawn will walk into that position to show you her alignment to me.
Ladies, I take my right hand and place it into the gentleman's hand. Notice I'm not squeezing. I just gently place it in there, wrapping my middle finger and the second finger into the little crook of his thumb, and then gently my forefinger, my pinky rest in there, and my thumb just lays along the edge of his. Then I take my underarm and put it on his forearm and wrap my arm right around him, placing my fingers in a V right against this nice big muscle in his arm here. And then I take my body, and instead of leaving it behind, I pull everything up and towards him, nice long neck, and I look up and around the corner behind his ear.
And notice she's pressing the shoulders down without pulling the elbows down with the shoulders. The elbows are staying in the air. She's creating what we call a shelf in the back of her body here. This is where the blade of the man's hand sends inside. It follows that shelf line and then folds lightly across the back. So now we have a nice top line here. I know right where my partner is. She's a little bit to my right side. If you notice, we're not nose to nose. She's looking around the corner as if she was looking at something behind my head, not across the room. I'm actually looking straight over the top of her right shoulder, between her shoulder and the break of her arm and her elbow. So right in this area, you don't want your head way off to the side because it creates stress in the neck. And you don't want to look at your partner, which most guys tend to do that anyway. When they're thinking, they'll be looking straight at you, even though they're not really looking at you, ladies. So guys, try to keep your head on this side. That's going to make a huge difference in some of your turning figures later. Holding the arms up, this is important for both partners. If I release her, she still has her arms up. So she's not depending on me. When she says she puts her forearm on me, her arm on me, it's just touching the fabric on my shirt. It's not pressing against the arm itself. The same thing for the man. I reach underneath, make contact. I don't try to lift her arms up. I just make contact with the arms. If you lift the arms, you're going to have to hold the arms for 3 minutes. And I can tell you right now, that's going to be real painful. So we want to just Lightly touch, keep the hand up in the air. My left hand is turned just slightly towards the lady behind her rather than having it pointed out this way or having it clenched inwards. In tango, you would have a little bit more of an inwards hold in the hand, but in waltz and foxtrot, it's way out here. The arm is extended from the body. There is a center point between us. The distance between this center point, which is the top of her right shoulder, and the outside edge of my hand is going to be the same distance as it is from here to the outside of her elbow. So that gives us a real nice center point. So if you find yourself in the middle, you've got a longer one-sided movement, which is going to create off-balance spins. If she's too far on that side, you have the same problem. She'll feel heavy if she gets too far over. So when you're dancing, if you feel different problems, think back to this basic position, and you'll probably be able to fix that. That's your dance position.
Ladies, one other thing that we tend to do when we get a little nervous, we'll either squeeze, and sometimes we'll start to raise this wrist of ours. So we kind of get this disconnected look here. Make sure you kind of think about keeping that wrapped down right into his muscle. So I have my wrist actually kind of forming right into his arm, but I'm not pressing down. If I press down, it's going to get real heavy on him.
This part of her wrist should make contact with the small part of the groove under the arm before the fingers actually get a hold of the arm. So don't grab first, because you will lift your wrist if you do. Place your wrist first, then put your hand on top. And again, gentlemen, look at the hand on her back. There's no open claw on her back. It's a nice closed, and it's on a downward slope across the back. I'm actually trying to place the blade and then flatten the hand rather than placing the thumb and flattening the hand. So we want that angle on the body.
And ladies, I'm also not back weighted so that he's having to pull me. I'm pretty much right in the middle, but I'm on the balls of my feet more than I am on my heels.
Your presentation, ladies, should be from the middle of the body. So if you notice, if I were to drop a line down through her body, her center would be on the front side of the line, and her head and her feet would be on the line. So you can see that instead of being flat, straight up and down, her feet are actually tucked back underneath her a little bit. See, I haven't changed my body position, but my feet back up a good 6-7 inches. This is a great position. It's a great position. It constantly keeps your body weight on the front of the foot. Number one. 2, keeps your legs out of his way when he starts to lower and start to step. If you step in with your feet underneath him, the second you lower, your knees collide. So you're probably used to feeling that if you just started dancing. So try to get the feet tucked up underneath you. That's our dance position. That's number one concept.